A while back, I asked our loyal viewers what you wanted to see next from us, and the results were overwhelming. Oh, nope. How'd that get in there? The people crave faked speedruns. And luckily for us, a couple of months ago, a very silly new Minecraft world record appeared in the YouTubeverse. A 6-minute, 30-second run, which claimed to beat the world record by 31 seconds, and be the first to ever break the 7-minute barrier in Minecraft 1.16 RSG. The thing about this stunning new record, though, is, well, it raises some questions. But hey, I mean, innocent until proven guilty, right? Let's give this run a fair look before we jump to any conclusions. Alright, let's see here. 630 world record. I don't know what that's all about. Ah, here we go. What does the description tell us? Oh, sorry. I guess it is real. This is embarrassing. I'm sorry for wasting your time. Yeah. Okay, I'm hearing that we're not supposed to just take their word for it, and we have to actually check if the run is real, because of woke. So I suppose we're gonna have to go through the run and see what we can find out. Without further ado, let's get into this real world record. Enjoy the video. Right away, the runner, Loya, spawns on a beach, without even creating the world first, or showing the world creation screen. That's weird. Okay, but the strategies they're using now are totally real. They do mapless buried treasure, which is the common meta where runners use the pie chart to find the chunk a buried treasure chest is in, which gives them great loot. Now they're using TNT to quickly gather wood, which is another standard strat for top runners. They craft their tools quickly and hop into the ocean to look for a nether enter. Right nearby is a magma ravine, and after they grab some flint to light the nether portal, Loya makes their portal and enters the nether at 1:12, 6 seconds ahead of the pace of Drip 120's world record. This nether entry raises two interesting points in my opinion. One, if this record is supposed to be so fake, why is it faster than the quote-unquote real world record? Someone who fakes a world record does it because they're worse at the game, right? Yet here we clearly see Loya entering the nether faster than Drip 120. Check and mate, liberals. But even more importantly, the achievement popping up in the chat gives us an essential glimpse into the player behind the run. That's right, Loya is none other than the frontman of legendary alt-metal band Deftones, Chino Moreno. With several classic albums like Around the Fur and the prestigious White Pony under their belt, Deftones has crafted a distinct sound over the past 3 decades that has pushed the bounds of experimental metal, blending into shoegaze and even dream pop, and leaving a musical legacy that not too many bands throughout all of history can rival. What possible reason could Chino Moreno have to fake a Minecraft world record? I really could not tell you. But, you know, it's definitely something to keep in mind for the rest of the run. Loya loads into an incredible nether spawn, with a bastion and a fortress both just blocks away from the nether portal. They bridge into the bastion, a stables variant, which is maybe the most chaotic bastion for a speedrun. They move across the open half of the bastion to get to the bottom of the upper rampart, which is where the gold they need to trade is gonna live. They run up a staircase to check if the gold blocks in the bottom of the bastion have generated, but they find 2 bad gaps, which is when the blocks behind this spot are open and the blocks behind this spot aren't. This tells them that this bastion doesn't have gold in the bottom. However, Stables bastions have another spot where enough gold to trade can generate, at the top of the upper half, where if a triple chest rampart generates, it means there are 4 gold blocks in the walls. Luckily for Loya, 2 triple chest ramparts have generated, which is great, not just because they'll probably be able to trade for all the loot they need, but also because triple chest ramparts in Stables are the fastest bastion route to play in a speedrun. Loya efficiently executes the trades, then loots the chests up top before hanging a pearl towards the fortress, a strat where they throw a pearl, then reduce their render distance to unload it, so that they can later increase their render distance and have the pearl instantly land and teleport them. I gotta say, I never thought I would see someone with so much musical talent also be so good at Minecraft. I thought I was the only one. Chino goes down to collect their trades, finding all the loot they need, then unhangs the pearl and lands in the fortress at 250. Now 40 seconds ahead of Drip 120. I'm just saying. In the fortress, they'll kill blazes until they have 6 blaze rods, with every blaze having a 50% chance of dropping a rod. Luckily, the first 2 both drop rods. Now Loya will have to wait for the spawn cycle to produce more blazes from the spawner, but luckily, the next 2 blazes spawn immediately. Luckily, they both drop rods. Now at this point, the standard play would be to use the TNT Loya has to do a strat called Blaze TNTing, where the runner blows up the blocks surrounding the blaze spawner to open up a space for more blazes to spawn at once. Curiously, Loya doesn't do this, instead just sorting their inventory in between spawns. Now, the haters and the losers might claim that this contributes to the fake run conspiracy theory, which is frankly preposterous. What I see when I watch this is a runner with confidence. Loya doesn't even need to use strats or good gameplay to increase their chances of beating the record, because they know that they've already got what it takes to pull this off. That's what I see, because I have love and hope in my heart. Anyway, luckily, the next 2 blazes that spawn both drop rods, and with 6 rods, Loya blind travels back to the overworld, where they'll use their Eyes of Ender to locate the Stronghold. They're back in the overworld at 3:48, a full 30 seconds ahead of the blind travel world record, and 40 seconds ahead of Drip 120. Again, I ask you, would such a skilled player fake a world record? Don't answer that. It's rhetorical. I've been working on my rhetoric lately. Moving on, Loya throws an eye and uses the Ninja Brain calculator to calculate the likely location of the nearest stronghold, although we can't actually see the eye alignment or the calculator on screen. But with the location acquired, they return to the nether to travel to the right coordinates and build another nether portal to the stronghold. Now, as they travel to the strongholds, I'd like to point out something that's been going on that I will admit is a bit incriminating. Notice anything interesting about these ender pearls? That's right. They're coming out of Loya's left hand. Everyone knows that the right hand is the dominant hand, so what's going on here? To be honest, it was this subtle detail that started to plant a seed of doubt in my mind that this run is legitimate. But I mean, let's not be too hasty. Maybe Loya is, one of the good ones. Either way, let's see how the rest of the run plays out before we decide for sure. Loya starts purling towards the coordinates for their second portal, nearly dies but saves it with a quick pearl, passes by a zombie pigman who's lost the will to go on, and builds their portal, reaching the stronghold at 4:52. Now, this is another interesting moment. The coordinates that the player receives from the Ninja Brain bot are the coordinates of the starter staircase of the stronghold, which is what the rest of the stronghold generates based on. So most of the time, the player will spawn in this part of the stronghold, like Drip 120 did. This doesn't always happen due to variation in the height the player travels in the nether from, and how the stronghold generates in the overworld, but it's still noticeable that Loya spawns in a different part of the stronghold, especially when you consider that they're playing left-handed. They're going to try to go back towards the starter staircase, because that's the best place to navigate a stronghold from, but on the way, they see the end portal room through the broken wall of a hallway. A few seconds later, they're in the end at 5 minutes and 19 seconds, 25 seconds ahead of Drip 120, which is also the fastest end enter in Random Seed Glitchless. In the end, Loya has the option to go for a zero cycle, which is a strategy where the player teleports onto the obsidian pillar the dragon is circling when it spawns and kill the dragon very quickly, although this is much more difficult than the alternative, the one cycle. Maybe because they only have 5 explosives, which you generally need more of for a zero cycle than a one cycle, or maybe because they're a lefty, probably both. Loya instead goes for the one cycle, where they have to wait for the dragon to perch in the middle of the island. If the dragon perches very quickly in a one cycle, it's barely slower than a zero cycle, but it can also take much longer for the dragon to perch if the runner is unlucky. But shockingly, Loya gets really lucky here, only having to wait 15 seconds after preparing for the dragon to enter its perch sequence. Most runners nowadays can consistently one-cycle the dragon with just 4 explosives, and having 5 is usually a total layup. Loya isn't interested in a layup, though. They're sort of the Jokic of Minecraft speedrunning, so they run down the clock by not timing their beds very well, before hitting a mid-range jumper to finish the job with some melee damage. And just like that, a new Minecraft world record is in the books. 6 minutes and 30 seconds by triple threat Chino Jokic. Congratulations, Chino. You're an inspiration to us all. Now, what's this? In any speedrun submitted to the leaderboard, the runner returns to the overworld after beating the game to show the seed of the world and that they haven't been using any illegal resources. But here, the video just ends. Well, I'm sure Loya included that footage in the video they submitted to the official leaderboard so that the run could be properly verified. Oh, wait. They didn't submit the run to the leaderboard? Well, then it can't be verified as the official world record. Why would they? I'm starting to think something's a little fishy here. If this run is fake, this is really upsetting, guys. How am I supposed to listen to Deftones while watching the Nuggets in good conscience after this controversy? Well, I'll let you decide for yourself what to think about this run. I mean, there's good evidence on both sides. In the run, Loya does beat the game in 6 minutes and 30 seconds, and they provide clear evidence that the run is real in the description. But also, I just can't get past the left-handed thing. I guess at the end of the day, we'll never really know the truth about this speedrun. Hey, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed, please drop a like or a comment or send it to someone else who you think might like it. Let us know down in the comments what you want to see from us next. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell so that you don't miss any of our future uploads. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.